7 years ago, I was £27,000 in debt and taking up payday loans just to survive. Today, I've saved over £50,000. Most people assume I got here by earning more or by living an extreme, miserable lifestyle. I didn't. Looking back, it wasn't one big decision that changed my finances, it was 10 surprisingly simple, frugal habits. So if you're trying to save more, build wealth, or stop living paycheck to paycheck, I'd start with these. Habit number one, I stopped trying to keep up. One of the biggest reasons I ended up in debt was because I was constantly trying to keep up, keeping up with trends, keeping up with the lifestyle I thought I was supposed to have. From the outside, I looked like I was doing fine. I went shopping, I went on luxury holidays, but behind the scenes, I was living paycheck to paycheck and relying on payday loans. Then I realized something that completely changed how I spent money. A lot of the things I was spending money on weren't making me happy, they were helping me fit in, and that's a very expensive way to live. Once I stopped worrying about what everyone else was doing, my spending started falling naturally because I no longer felt the need to buy things just because other people were buying them. Looking back, that one shift probably saved me thousands of pounds over the years, but changing my mindset alone wasn't enough. I had to change my behavior. Habit number two, I waited before buying things. One of the simplest habits to help me save money was learning to wait. Years ago, if I wanted something, I just bought it. New shoes, a new bag, anything I'd seen online. The problem was that most of those purchases were emotional. I wasn't buying because I needed them, I was buying them because I wanted the feeling that came with buying them. So I created a simple rule. If I wanted something that wasn't essential, I had to wait at least 48 hours before buying it. And something interesting started happening. Most of the time, the urge disappeared. What felt like a necessity on Monday suddenly didn't seem important by Wednesday. And every time that happened, I'd save 20, 50, or sometimes over £100 without feeling deprived. Because the truth is, a lot of spending happens in the moment. Waiting separated what I genuinely wanted from what I only wanted in the moment. But that wasn't even where I saved the most money. Habit number three, I learned to love home cooked food. Before I got my finances under control, I used to spend way more money on food than I realized. Takeaways, lunches out, last minute dinners with friends. Convenience spending never felt expensive until I added it all up. So I had to make a change. I started planning my meals for the week, went grocery shopping, and started cooking most of my meals at home. That simple habit saved me roughly £200 to £250 a month. That's roughly £3,000 every year. And that's when I started realizing how powerful small changes could be. But surprisingly, food wasn't actually where I saved the most money. Habit number four, I drove the same car for years. Once I got out of debt, I promised myself I was never going back. So when I needed a car, I bought a second-hand one for £2,000. It wasn't flashy, but it was reliable, cheap to maintain, and most importantly, it didn't come with a monthly payment. At the time, I knew people spending hundreds every month financing cars. Meanwhile, I kept that £2,000 car for 7 years and simply redirected the money I would have spent on car payments into savings and investments. The funny thing is, nobody remembers what car you drove, but your bank account remembers every payment you made. But buying a cheaper car wasn't enough. I also needed a way to save money without relying on willpower. Habit number five, I paid myself first. One of the biggest mistakes I made when I was struggling with money was relying on willpower. Every month I'd tell myself I'd start saving. The problem is, there was never anything left to save. Something always came up. So eventually I flipped the process. As soon as I got paid, money automatically moved into savings before I could spend it. Even while paying off debt, I kept building that habit. Because saving isn't really about money, it's about identity. You're teaching yourself that your future matters too. Once I automated it, I stopped having the same internal debate every month. I removed the friction and let technology handle it for me. Now, automating my savings helped a lot, but I was still overpaying for things without realizing it. Habit number six, I negotiated my bills. This is one of the least exciting habits on the list, but it saved me hundreds of pounds. Every year, I review my major bills, my phone, internet, car insurance, because companies often reward new customers more than loyal ones. And if you're not paying attention, prices quietly creep up every year. I learned this the hard way when my insurance renewal notice landed in my inbox and the price had increased by £120. And that money would have been automatically deducted. So now I make it a habit to compare prices every year. I either switch providers or negotiate a better deal. And you'd be surprised how often they say yes. Most of these calls take less than 15 minutes, but saving £100 here and £200 there quickly adds up, especially once that money starts working for you. But saving money alone wasn't enough, because one unexpected expense could undo months of progress, which brings me to habit number seven. I built an emergency fund. One thing that kept pulling me back into debt was not having an emergency fund. For years, every unexpected expense became a crisis. A car repair, a broken appliance, something always seemed to knock me backwards. So eventually, I stopped focusing only on debt and started building a small emergency fund too. Not a huge buffer. I started with £1,000, and what surprised me the most was this. That safety net changed my life emotionally more than anything else. For the first time, an unexpected bill wasn't an emergency, it was just an inconvenience. That feeling is hard to explain unless you've experienced it, but it completely changed my mindset and my relationship with money. For the first time, I felt financially secure, and that changed the way I look at everything I already owned. Habit number 8, I used what I already had. This habit sounds almost too simple, but it saved me a lot of money. Before buying something new, I started checking what I already owned, and I was honestly shocked. I found clothes I'd forgotten about, beauty products I hadn't finished, books I hadn't read. I even went to buy a book on Amazon once and it politely informed me I'd already bought it. That was a reality check I couldn't ignore. So I started shopping my home first, and that simple habit dramatically reduced how often I bought things because I realised I didn't need more, I needed to use what I already had. But after a while, I realised spending less could only take me so far, which brings me to habit number 9, I increased my income. At this point, I realised something important. There's only so much you can cut, but there's no limit to how much you could earn. So I shifted my focus. I kept managing my spending carefully, but I also started looking for ways to increase my income. For me, that eventually meant moving into contracting, which significantly increased my earnings. Up until then, I spent years focusing almost entirely on cutting costs, but what I actually needed was more income. That shift accelerated everything. And because I'd already built good money habits by then, I didn't suddenly upgrade my lifestyle. I simply saved and invested most of the difference instead. That's when my savings really started to snowball. But none of those habits would have stuck if I hadn't learned one final lesson. Habit number 10, I learned to be content. Looking back, this was probably the habit that made all the others stick. For years, I felt like I was constantly chasing the next thing, the next trending outfit, the next hotspot, a better version of my life. There was always something else I thought I needed. But then I realized something. The goalposts never stop moving. There's always someone with more. A bigger house, a newer car, a more expensive lifestyle. And if your happiness depends on keeping up, you'll never feel like you have enough. I realized I didn't have a money problem, I had a contentment problem. Learning to be content made every other habit easier because I stopped believing more stuff would make me happier. I became grateful for what I already had, more intentional about what I bought, and much less concerned about what everyone else was doing. That's when saving money stopped feeling difficult because frugality isn't really about deprivation. It's about being content enough to stop chasing things you don't actually need. I'd love to know in the comments, which one of these habits are you going to start this week? And if you want to see why I actually stopped buying to save over £50,000, watch this video next. Some of those purchases were costing me way more than I realised, and I don't miss any of them at all. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.